and today I will be talking about are superhero movies dying? I know this topic is a little too old, but I don't care. Let's just get into the video. So, Steven Spielberg said a while back that superhero movies are going to die like Western movies. So is this true? Actually, I agree with him. Superhero movies are going to die, and I'll explain. You remember Avengers Age of Ultron? Yeah. And how great the trailer was? Yeah. And how disappointed we were? Yeah. I remember I was so excited for Avengers Age of Ultron. I was even more excited than The Force Awakens, which is actually very weird. But so I was so excited, and when I watched it, I was just so disappointed. It just felt very, very, very extremely weak. I know there was a ton of action-packed, Iron Man versus Hulk, and like, ooh, we have to add Michael Bay explosions in it. I'm sorry, just a reference. I know you're probably going to say that was action-packed, but I'm just saying, it just was kind of a weak movie. And it's very hard to explain, but I'm just saying, it was just a very weak movie. And then when Ant-Man came along, that same year, which was last year, it was also weak too. I mean, Age of Ultron and Ant-Man were good. I think I like Ant-Man more than Age of Ultron, but those two movies were very weak, just to tell you, even though they're still good. So then Fantastic Four 2015 came along, which that's what I call it. I call it Fantastic Four 2015 because there's a 94 version and an 04 version. Or I could just call it Fan-4-Stick. I don't care. So, I'm just going to call it Fan-4-Stick. And then Fan-4-Stick came along, and that was extremely weak. Nothing happened in it. You're probably like, whoa, like the nerd. Fantastic Four, or Fan-4-Stick, well, it wasn't even really Marvel's fault. It was mostly 20th Century Fox fault. Yeah, I guess you're right, but I mean, Marvel was with the project also. And yeah, even though 20th Century Fox was mainly on it, it's still kind of Marvel's fault because they kind of agreed with the project. I don't know. But those 3 Marvel movies last year, and they're the only 3 Marvel movies, were just weak. I mean, some had some good moments, or it was good or okay, but all the Marvel movies last year were weak. And then I noticed that Marvel might be going downhill. And then, when Captain America Civil War comes up, it's just going to be weak. Maybe I thought that Age of Ultron was weak just because that I was too overhyped over for it, and I was disappointed because it wasn't what I imagined. Maybe it was that, but maybe Civil War will be very weak. And you're probably like, whoa, White, you forgot Deadpool. Yeah, Deadpool. Actually, there's some people that actually seen the movie very early, and it's like they tweeted it out, like what they think of the movie. Some said that they loved it. Some said that it was good, but it was weak. So that's the thing that worried. Even the Deadpool movie might be weak. I don't know. Don't criticize me, okay? If you don't agree with my opinion, just leave the video. So, guys, what about that if every Marvel movie, or like every Marvel movie that's coming out soon is going to be weak? And then everybody's going to lose interest, and then everybody's going to be like, oh my gosh, this is so weak. And it's just my theory. But you're probably like, whoa, White the Nerd, what about the Infinity War? I mean, that's going to be action-packed with a ton of Marvel superheroes. But all the action-packed and just with all the action might just make the movie feel weak, just with all action. I'm not saying it could be weak, but said if it could be weak. You know what? I'm just gonna reset that all. Okay. Infinity War might be weak just because they're going on the saying when there's a movie that has too much, it gets too much good. That's like the worst thing for a movie. A movie that has too much is awful. That was maybe the reason why Age of Ultron was weak. But I mean, it's just my own silly theory. So yeah, I mean, actually, to tell you the truth, 15 was the year when Marvel superhero movies started going downhill. 2014 was an amazing year. It had Days of Future Past, it had Guardians of the Galaxy, it had The Winter Soldier, which FYI, that's my favorite Marvel film. So actually, it has like 3 amazing Marvel films that are actually not weak and actually very powerful. Just because they didn't really have like too much. But let's see, what was I gonna say? Okay. Why did I forget what's good? Oh yeah. Maybe there's another movie in 2014 that I forgot, but that's all the movies I can think of right now. So yeah. Well, so I guess that in the future, my theory is that Marvel movies or superhero movies, just basically Marvel superhero movies, are just going to get weaker and weaker. And you're probably like, well, why didn't you're forgetting DC superhero movies. Oh yeah, I forgot that. I don't want to say this out because I really love the Dark Knight trilogy. It's actually, I think it is actually could be my favorite set of superhero movies. But I love the Dark Knight trilogy so much, I just don't want to say this. Okay. I love how DC is going on the dark way of making their new superhero films dark, and I love that way. It's just the dark mood in the superhero films might lose an audience. Because the audience might be used to like old DC superhero movies or just Marvel superhero movies, and they're used to like exciting. But the new DC, or the new DC way DC is taking on new superhero films, is to make it extremely dark. I mean, I actually agree with them. I really like how they're doing this. It's just, I just feel bad because they could actually lose an audience. I really love how dark their films is. It's just I really hope they don't lose the audience because, I mean, there's some actual people that actually love dark superhero movies like me. I love dark superhero movies. I like exciting ones also. It's just I'm more like a dark superhero movie fan. But there's a ton of people that don't really or just not really interested in dark mooded superhero movies. They just like exciting superhero movies, not like a superhero movies that are very dark. So that's the problem. DC might lose an audience for doing that, even though I love how DC is doing it. So just don't be like, oh my gosh, Wyatt, you don't like how DC are making like the superhero movies that are dark. I love superhero movies that are dark. It's just I'm afraid that DC might actually lose the audience. And well, that's just my opinion. I don't care if you leave a dislike. Might just because well, you have another opinion, and I agree with you. If you have another opinion, I'll agree with you. I mean, there might be, I know, you're probably like, well, why the nerd? You have you probably have for example, there's a viewer watching this, then the viewer might be like, well, why the nerd? Your opinion is a lot different than mine. And I'll be like, well, I maybe could actually kind of agree with your opinion. I mean, even if I don't agree with your opinion, it's just opinion. I mean, it's just my opinion, or should I just say a theory? It's just my theory. I I don't care if you think that superhero movies are not going to die and they're going to get better. I don't care. And if you tell me why, it might convince me to think differently from a different point of view. But so if you want to leave a dislike just for disagreeing with my opinion, that's fine. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. I think this is gonna be the most one when I'm gonna have a ton of dislikes, but it's fine. I can handle it. And thank you for watching. Thank you a lot. And don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and boy.